This story begins with a man named Sebastian, who works as a cashier at a bank in Germany. At the moment, Sebastian is recording a video on his laptop, and in this video, he is narrating the story of a man named Hans Wagner. According to this story, Hans was a master locksmith who lost his entire family in an accident. In their memory, he designed 4 of the most unique safes in the world, and he named them the Rheingold, the Valkyrie, the Siegfried, and the Götterdämmerung. Hans designed these safes in such a way that if anyone tried to force them open, all the contents inside would be destroyed in fire. After completing his work, he locked himself inside the Götterdämmerung safe forever. No matter how hard people tried, no one could open the safe. So it was treated as his tomb and buried deep under the sea. Now, according to Sebastian's story, out of the 4 safes Hans created, 3 still exist in the world. But where they are and who has them, nobody knows. After finishing the story, Sebastian stopped the recording and uploaded it to YouTube. Then, he tried to open a locker placed on the table and managed to unlock it within seconds. Amazed at his own skills, Sebastian left for work feeling quite pleased. He grabbed a coffee from a nearby shop and headed to the bank. As soon as he arrived, he encountered a woman yelling at him like crazy because the bank didn't pass her check. Amidst all this chaos, Sebastian noticed the news on the TV, reporting that zombie attacks had broken out in various parts of the world. Hearing this, Sebastian got a bit anxious, and the woman in front of him started to look like a zombie to him. So, without delay, he passed her check and sent her away. During lunch, Sebastian checked his YouTube and discovered that a locker cracking competition was being held, and he decided to participate. The first round began soon, and everyone started unlocking their respective lockers. Since Sebastian was an expert in this field, he kept passing each round with ease and eventually made it to the final. In the final round, he was up against a guy named Neo. Their task was to unlock a very complicated safe within 3 minutes. As soon as the timer started, Neo got to work. Meanwhile, Sebastian looked completely calm and uninterested, as if the game didn't matter to him. But when only 30 seconds were left, he finally approached the locker, felled it with his hands, and cracked it in just 10 seconds. Everyone was shocked and applauded for him. Amidst the clapping, Sebastian noticed a woman named Gwendoline. Gwen. The moment he saw her, he felt attracted to her. However, he had no idea that Gwen would soon turn his life upside down, and over time, he'd learn many interesting things about her. Like she stole her first watch when she was only 6, had her heart broken at 16, and stole her first car, and by 17, she was already on Interpol's Red Notice list. The next morning, Sebastian returned to that coffee shop. Upon seeing Gwen again, he spilled coffee on himself. They sat at a table, and Gwen revealed that the person who commented on his video was none other than her. She told him that she was a wanted thief, and police from all over the world were chasing her. Her next mission was to steal those 3 safes mentioned in Sebastian's video, the ones created by Hans Wagner. Gwen wanted Sebastian to join her plan because no one knew more about Wagner's safes than he did. She explained that they had only 4 days to pull off this heist because after that, the safes would be relocated. Then, she gave Sebastian an address and told him to come there by the next morning if he wanted to be part of the mission. That night, Sebastian returned home and kept thinking about Gwen's offer. Since he was a big fan of Hans Wagner and always dreamed of unlocking those safes, he decided to join the plan. The next day, he reached the address Gwen gave him and met the rest of her team. Besides Gwen, the team had 3 more people: Corina, Rolf, and Brad. Corina was the hacker, Rolf was the driver, and Brad was the gunman. The team explained the full plan to Sebastian, and without wasting time, they left for Paris because one of the safes, the Rheingold, was located in a bank there. According to the plan, Sebastian entered the bank and hid inside the locker room's restroom. Gwen, meanwhile, walked into the bank with lots of items, tricked a guard into holding them, and stole the backdoor key. She then entered the bank and asked for access to her pre-booked locker. A staff member escorted her and then left. Once alone, Gwen let Sebastian out of the restroom and took him to the Rheingold vault. Seeing this magnificent safe, Sebastian was overwhelmed. It was a childhood dream come true. He quickly got to work and started unlocking each layer. Within moments, he cracked it open to reveal a pile of money. The two of them began stuffing the cash into bags. Meanwhile, the rest of the team was distracting the bank employees and taking advantage of this. Gwen and Sebastian slipped out through the back door. After successfully pulling off the heist, Sebastian was overjoyed. This was the first time he felt like the main character in his own life. In the next scene, we see Interpol headquarters, where the police have already received word of the robbery. The bank's security cameras had captured Gwen and her crew, who were already on Interpol's most wanted list. At the meeting, we meet an officer named Delacroix, who had been chasing Gwen and her team for years. He tells everyone that if they've cracked Wagner's first safe, they'll surely go after the remaining two. The second safe was located in Prague. We then see Gwen and her team celebrating their success. During the party, Corina tried to kiss Sebastian, but he refused because he liked Gwen, not her. Corina told him that Gwen was already in a relationship with Brad, but things weren't going well between them and a breakup might happen soon. That night, Sebastian visited Gwen's room and the two had a heartfelt conversation, but Brad saw them together and became furious. The next day, the team reached Prague, unaware that Delacroix and his team were already tracking them. According to the plan, Gwen and Sebastian entered the bank disguised as employees and, following Corina's instructions, made their way to the elevator. But the security grew suspicious and two guards approached them for questioning. Before they could ask anything, Gwen quickly eliminated both of them, and the pair rushed to the vault. Meanwhile, Delacroix waited outside the bank. When nothing happened for a long time, he entered the bank, only to find out that the safe he was looking for had already been transferred to a different branch a week ago. In short, the police were at the wrong location, and the heist was taking place elsewhere. Without wasting time, the officers rushed to the correct bank. On the other side, Sebastian started cracking the safe, and after some effort, he succeeded. He was overjoyed and hugged Gwen. But the bank's internal security had triggered a high alert due to the missing guards. As per Plan B, Corina sent Brad inside the bank, disguised as a robber. Brad stormed in with a gun and held everyone hostage, diverting all attention toward himself. Meanwhile, Gwen and Sebastian filled their bags with money and signaled Brad when done. As Brad exited the bank, a guard shot him in the shoulder. Still, he didn't stop and managed to reach the getaway car. As people started to evacuate the bank, Gwen and Sebastian slipped out with them. They ran to the car, where Brad pulled Gwen inside but intentionally pushed Sebastian out. Brad did this because he was jealous of Sebastian and feared he might steal Gwen from him. Sebastian saw the police approaching and grabbed a bicycle to escape. After a long chase, he finally gave them the slip and boarded a train out of Prague. Meanwhile, Gwen and Brad got into an argument. Brad told her that since they already had two safes worth millions, they didn't need to go after the third. But Gwen didn't care. She wanted to find a third vault with Sebastian. She left the car, followed by Corina. The two of them abandoned Brad and went to find Sebastian. Sebastian reached home somehow, where Gwen and Corina were already waiting. Furious, he asked them to leave. But Gwen explained that while Brad was only after money, she and Sebastian were on a mission to unlock all of Wagner's safes. She promised never to leave his side. Hearing this, Sebastian calmed down and agreed to go after the third safe. They traveled to Switzerland, where the final vault was located in a massive casino. But Delacroix was also in Switzerland. This time, he decided to let them enter the casino and catch them red-handed. Delacroix's team tapped Corina's radio frequency and found out that Gwen and Sebastian would enter the casino at 5 p.m. to unlock the safe. Delacroix waited 8 hours. At exactly 5 o'clock, he stormed in with his team and asked the casino owner about the vault. The lady replied that earlier that day, someone from Interpol had warned her that the vault was a target and advised her to move it to a safe location. In reality, 8 hours earlier, Corina had called the casino owner pretending to be from Interpol and gave her this false intel. Based on that, the owner contacted a security company to relocate the vault. But the people who showed up weren't from a security firm. They were Gwen and Sebastian in disguise. Delacroix then realized that Corina had intentionally leaked the wrong info to mislead them. Meanwhile, Gwen and Sebastian had already escaped with the vault and were now preparing to open it. On the other side, Brad and his partner were waiting outside the casino to ambush them. When nothing happened, they tracked Gwen's phone and realized she and Sebastian had already stolen the vault. They immediately took off after them. Back with Corina, she spotted Brad's phone moving toward Gwen's location. But before she could alert Gwen, the police surrounded her and asked her to surrender. Just before being arrested, she managed to send Gwen a message and destroyed her phone. Meanwhile, Sebastian finally opened the last vault and was over the moon. They pulled over and began stuffing the money into bags. But just then, Brad arrived and pointed a gun at them. He wanted to share the money, but Gwen refused. Furious, Brad pulled the trigger, but the gun was empty. Gwen revealed she had never loaded his gun because she always knew he'd betray them. She took out her own gun, tied up Brad and Rolf, and escaped with Sebastian and the money. As planned, spectacular movie ends. I hope you enjoyed the story. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video. Until then, be safe and keep chilling.